Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Latest Sundays. We're going to be talking about another rap album.
Jeez, Bells, 12 seconds in. My God.
I really wasn't expecting to start that, man. I was so confident.
Okay. Today we're talking about the JPEGMAFIA album. I don't even remember what the JPEGMAFIA album's called. It's some like long, it's some obnoxiously long album title that's in all lowercase or all uppercase. I forget which one. So you know that he's being serious on this one. You know, he's being serious. He wants you to take him seriously on this one. And ladies and gentlemen, spoiler alert, it's getting gassed. You know, as per usual, as per all the online, terminally online, chronically online losers. You know, it's getting gassed. They're all saying that it's his best work of art to date, and they're all retarded. They're all wrong. They're all just simply, I think they have brainworm. I think they got the RFK brainworm. I think it's transmissible through the air, and it's spreading amongst the terminally online people. Twitter brainworm. That's what these people have, ladies and gentlemen. This is a bad album. I'm sorry. Really I didn't mean to take it over. I didn't mean to take over the podcast, Bells, but I just have to get through that. I hate this album, and my God, do I hate JPEGMAFIA.
Okay.
I don't hate JPEGMAFIA. I hate his music. There.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, is there really many people out there saying that this is his best album? Because, like, I've seen a lot of people be a little bit more critical with this one compared to, like, his other ones.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not checking online because unlike JPEGMAFIA, I'm not terminally online. I haven't really checked anywhere because I don't give too much of a shit. I'm not on social media like that. You know what I mean? So I'm not seeing like the current discussion. I'm just assuming because it's JPEGMAFIA and because it's bad music made by JPEGMAFIA that people are going to be gassing it. That's usually how these things go.
You really seem very emotionally affected by this album.
I am emotionally affected by this because I listened to this album 3 times. The first time I listened to it, I'm like, okay, this entire project washed over me. The first time I listened to it, though, it washed over me. I could appreciate the production. I could appreciate the Denzel Curry feature, and especially the Vince Staples feature. Like that was whenever I realized, okay, this might be a JPEGMAFIA problem. Was whenever I got to, I believe the track is called New Black History, and I'm like, okay, this rocks, yeah. And it's because Vince Staples was on it. So, I started to realize, okay, this might be a JPEGMAFIA problem. Second time I listened to it, I confirmed that it was a JPEGMAFIA album, and then we just re-listened to it like before starting this podcast. I mean, JPEGMAFIA problem. Dude, I'm getting way ahead of myself. I am really mad. And then the third time, I was like going through the lyrics, and my God, oh my God, it was a good thing that it washed over me the first time I listened to it because Jesus Christ, paying attention to what he's saying does not make this project any better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the lyrics also, I mean, they're probably not the same thing that you felt, but like a lot of the lyrics just kind of washed over me.
Well, I was sending them to you as we were re-listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, most of the ones you sent me to me were pretty bad. Like, I couldn't really bring myself to defend them.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to defend them. Like, here's the thing: I'm unbiased. I don't hate JPEGMAFIA, like I said, but I do hate this album. I think this album's bad. But we can get into that later. But I don't know why you would even try to defend these lyrics because they can't be.
Yeah, I mean,
if Kanye or Eminem said these, right? But since it's JPEGMAFIA, people are gonna gas it and not pay attention because consume. It's Philistine art is what it is. Am I using that word right? Philistine?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. So your main problem with the album is JPEGMAFIA himself.
Well, no, because JPEGMAFIA is responsible for the production on this album, and in that regard, I think he does a spectacular job across all 14 tracks on this album, and that's why I'm saying, like, I don't hate him. It's not like I have something against him, like I went into this wanting to hate him. It's just that on the production, it's great. I love the production on this album, as I do on every JPEGMAFIA album I've heard.
Yeah,
but the second he opens his mouth, it's like I'm listening to Lib Left Lil Darky. They're like two opposite ends of the spectrum. Lil Darky's like Lib Right. JPEGMAFIA, and JPEGMAFIA is like lib left Lil Darky. It's like the same person, just on opposite sides of the spectrum, and JPEGMAFIA has better production.
That's the thing. I don't really like the production of the album a lot of the times. And I guess I'll get to it later why, but I think a lot of it just has to come down with less on the technical side, because I mean, it is like very well, I guess, production in a way. Like it definitely has a lot of creative elements to it. And there's some songs where the production does really work for me. Like I mentioned before, like Ex Military, that song has really good production.
Yeah.
JPEG Ultra has really good production. The second track, I think I like the production as well.
Well, the production's always dynamic. It's always changing. It's never static, you know. And he raps about this on this album. I'm gonna let you finish. Just I'm gonna let you finish. I'm looking for this lyric. I can't find it. He says something like, "You other producers loop. I never repeat myself," and I think that's fair. I think that is a good braggadocious line.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like it is sometimes creative, and even there are times when I get something out of it. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it's kind of shallow. Like I feel like I don't really like the fast pace of his music generally. At the very least, from like this and Scaring the Hoes, I don't really remember much of LP, to be honest. I'm not gonna really bring that album up, but
I remember you liked it whenever it came out.
Yeah, I remember liking it. Maybe it's still pretty good. I don't know. But this album, I mean, like I don't know. It's just that maybe I just don't really like his style in general. Like,
yeah,
I feel like,
I mean that's fair.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't know. It kind of has the same problem as Scaring the Host, although not as bad, to be honest. In that, I don't know. So much of the album just feels very convoluted and messy, and a lot of times not really in a way that I think it's particularly enjoyable to listen to. Like I don't know. It like I feel like the first time that I listened to it, I was able to enjoy most of the album, but I think that was really more so as a I don't know, background noise kind of thing. Like, this sounds kind of cool, but like I wasn't really immersing through it like really that well, I suppose.
Going into this album, you told me that this was like the one where he opens up and he gets deep on it.
I don't know. I
didn't hear that. I didn't hear that one bit. I just heard the same classic JPEGMAFIA terminally online. Like this guy is terminally online, and I think he sums it up best. I took a lot of screenshots of these lyrics. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. It's like oh, this is a bad one. JPEG motherfucking Mafia making grown men emotional since 2008.
Oh, that one's rough.
Oh, where is it? It's like terminal. Yeah.
Like that one isn't even Twitter core. It's just YouTube.
Oh, that one's Twitter core. That one's Twitter core.
It's YouTube comment core, which is worse.
Well, I mean, the same thing. First of all, I don't think YouTube comments are worse than Twitter. But second of all, like it's all bad. Irregardless, it's all bad. It's all terminally online, is what I'm getting at. But it's he says here, like, I'm so terminally online, I gotta check myself. I'm so terminally online, I don't respect myself. And he's not saying this from his own perspective, but the first time I heard this, I thought he was, and I was like, okay, yeah, at least he's self-aware about it. But he's saying this as a diss, as an epic own to his haters who are just so terminally online, and it's like you're a Twitter rapper. You rap about people unfollowing you. You rap about getting banned on Twitter, or not get banned. You rap about getting blocked on Twitter, and it's so funny that JPEGMAFIA, like, this is a very, very, very common bar that he says, where it's like the whole like, you'll say this on Twitter, well, why don't you say it to my face? And it's like, I just don't. Someone's walking in my room and completely derailing my train of thought. Yeah, JPEGMAFIA says something like whatever I was saying. He says, I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, so great.
I think you hit your table several times.
I did hit my table several times because it made me very mad that someone walked in on me. I need to start locking my door. No, JPEGMAFIA says the line where it's like, oh, you gonna say this on Twitter about me? Well, say it to my face in real life. And it's like, I don't think he's doing anything about anything. Like, JPEGMAFIA seems like the softest person on planet Earth, and we can get into that later. There's some lyrics that I really want to point out that really bring this point home. And second of all, like, he's that type of person to talk trash about someone on Twitter or in a song and then like just fold whenever someone like confronts him in real life. Like, he's weak. You know what I mean? He's a soft man. Can I say that? He's a soft man. That's the impression that I get from him. I don't believe that any of this is real. Like, if there's anyone whose facade is like just completely and entirely unbelievable, it's JPEGMAFIA. His hard facade, at least. And he raps like this. He raps like Black Slim Shady or Black Lil Darky. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's God, shut your mouth.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really mind his rapping. Like, I don't know, I don't really find it obnoxious. Like, at worst, I'm just kind of indifferent to it. And at best, I don't know, I feel like he has occasionally energetic moments that I found to be, I don't know, enjoyable.
I mean, like, here's the thing. I don't like his voice, but I feel like sometimes he utilizes his voice properly. And I haven't listened to enough examples to be able to say, you know, when he does or when he doesn't. You know, because Eminem has a bad voice, but I think he can utilize it. Lil Darky, I think, is just over for him. But that's who he reminds me of vocally, is like Slim Shady and Lil Darky. So like I think he can utilize his voice, you know, to fit a track, and I think that he has skill. I just don't think that he uses it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hearing these beats and I'm like, imagine if JPEGMAFIA used all these beats to produce just a Vince Staples album. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's so many people who could benefit from having these beats, and JPEGMAFIA, to me, in my opinion, is just doing them no justice. Mostly. Agree, disagree? Agree to disagree?
I mean, I suppose I don't know, I can see what you're coming from. It's just, again, I don't think his voice is the main problem. Like, neither his voice or his rapping or... I mean, yeah, there's a lot of bad lyrics on the album, but I don't know. It's like, what bothers me about the album the most, it's just that, I don't know, maybe it's just, I find this album to be very one ear and out the other, and maybe it's just, again, related to the fact that his style of hip-hop doesn't really appeal to me. Like, this very convoluted, very quirky, very, I don't know. Maybe it is quirky as well. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't like this style of rap. I'm gonna be honest. I feel it's not that I hate rap in general, because like I do like rap. It's just I don't like how, I don't know. It feels like a lot of rap albums and, I don't know, artists these days, they feel a little bit too ADHD fueled. Like, every song just goes so fast. Every song is so short. Every song just goes through like this very obnoxious pace that, I don't know. It kind of bothers me.
I don't mind the ADHD pilled if it's fun. You know what I mean? Like, ADHD music, if it's fun, is like, it rocks. Like, I like Frogman. You know, there's my, I don't know if it's a hot take. I think people just don't know who Frogman is. But, you know, I like Frogman. Frogman is supremely ADHD. You know? It's like if you gave Cardi just like a metric, like, I don't know, cocaine. If you gave Cardi cocaine, a bunch of cocaine. But here it's like it just does nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and not even I don't know. I see where you're coming from, but I think I disagree. I still like the production, but
yeah, I mean, I think like the album can be fun in like small doses, but like I feel like it's just more so comes down to, I don't know, eating a bag of chips kind of fun more so than, I don't know, a kind of fun that I find to have like a lot of substance to it.
Yeah, I think the worst thing about this album is that it convinces stupid people that it's smart. That's the worst thing about JPEGMAFIA, is that he convinces stupid white people who hate themselves that they're smart, that he's smart. Sorry, that JPEGMAFIA is smart. Because this music is just as I said, this is for white people who hate themselves. You know, he has a lyric like, I make white people who don't have any black friends uncomfortable, is what he says on here. And it's like, your audience is pretty comfortable with your music, bro. That's your audience, and they're pretty comfortable with your music. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I hate I hate the person. I can't say I hate the person who listens to JPEG Mafia. Because I'm sure, a lot of people listen to JPEG Mafia. It'd be hard to stereotype them all into one. But I guess the most vocally online JPEG Mafia fan is the white person who hates themselves and wants to be anything but white. You know what I mean? For self-loathing whites is what JPEG Mafia is for.
I mean, that kind of checks out. I can say that. I mean, I don't know if this is entirely related, but I was listening to this album not through Spotify but through YouTube. He has a main video where it's like his entire album, but basically it's him on the on, I think, FL Studio, just playing all the tracks.
With JPEG Mafia, or what? He has an album where he just plays the tracks on FL Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the type of quirky stuff that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's a quirky thing to do. It's like the Death Grips music videos where they're disassembling a shoe and then tying it together in the wrong way or something. Whatever that music video was that we watched for Music Video Survivor. It's just it's quirky, big brain experimentation. Whoa, you haven't seen this before. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah, I
mean, it's just it's for white people who are stupid and I don't know. I hate this music. I do. I really do.
I mean, even at that, Death Grips is more experimental and creative than
Death Grips is more entertaining.
Yeah, it's more entertaining, and I think has more of an impact. A lot of Death Grips music, it's very loud, very fast-paced, very even quote-unquote obnoxious. But it is there's a lot of Death Grips songs that I actually can remember, that I actually can bob my head to.
Well, the thing about Death Grips is it doesn't care if you don't get it. You know what I mean? There's a very apathetic attitude that I feel even though they are kind of, the big brain, I feel that's more of an attribute that's given to them by the people who listen to them rather than them giving it to themselves. You know what I mean? They seem pretty largely apathetic to, who gets it, who doesn't get it. And I feel their silence on a lot of, on a lot of things translates that. JPEG Mafia, on the other hand, not only does he care that you get it, he's going to wave it in front of your face and shake you. And he is so convinced that he's so smart. This is the most narcissistic man on planet Earth. Second to Kanye, right? That's the vibe that I get from this. Is he wants you to understand that he's smart. He's smart, and he's going to convince you that he's smart, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely seems JPEG definitely seems more insecure about that. When you listen to Death Grips, it definitely feels it definitely feels a lot more confident in itself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, JPEG Mafia is insecure. That is a genius way of putting it. I love that. JPEG Mafia is insecure, and it shows through. Also, for someone who's such a self-convinced genius, first of all, here's an example. The two things in this little excerpt that I want to read out. You're a lapsed fan, and I hope you never stan again. So he's using Twitter lingo because he's a Twitter rapper who's trying to convince you with everything in his willpower that he's not terminally online. He is. And the next he says, "'Cause all my enemies is in jeopardy. Better phone a friend." That's not Jeopardy. That's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. This guy is retarded. This guy is retarded. Supremely retarded. Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, I can argue with that.
Yeah. It's just, oh, man.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. When I first saw the album cover, have you ever listened to? Actually, no, you haven't. There's another album from this year that has a very similar album cover.
What is it?
I know the artist. I forgot the name of the fucking album. Let me take a look.
What's the name of the artist? I can tell you if I heard it.
Okay. No, I don't think you have heard it. It's Knock Loose, a metalcore band.
No.
All right.
It's not my kind of music, G.
Yeah, I mean, I figured.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first saw the album cover, it just reminded me of that album, and I thought it was going to go into that path. Like I thought, JPEG was going to go metal, and I mean,
it looks like what it reminds me of is the LP cover. Like it's not stylistically very different from that, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's 2 LP album covers. Like the one that I'm familiar with is the one with the liquor.
I'm talking about the one where it's like smoke coming out of his mouth.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think let me look at that again, because like when I listen to the album, I listen to it with that album cover. Like that's the one that I want.
While you're doing that, I want to point out this lyric right here. I don't know who told these wiggas that acting like fellers was ever the vibe or the mood. You know that I know that ain't really you. Because the blacker the image, the wider the roots. If that's the case, then JPEGMAFIA has the blackest image on planet Earth, because this is the whitest motherfucker I've ever known. I swear to God, JPEGMAFIA is the whitest black man on planet Earth.
Maybe.
Yeah. You have to be. I mean, I was watching this Danny Brown podcast. He was on Danny Brown podcast. And he was like, you're the terminally online one. JPEGMAFIA is saying this to Danny Brown. He's like, you're the terminally online one. I am just a regular black man. I wake up, I watch my BET and Breakfast Club just like every other black man. Right? And it's like, I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe them. Like, you know what I mean? You rap about stans. You rap about stan culture. You rap about cancel culture. You rap about Twitter. Who unfollowed me? Block me on Twitter. Say that to my face. If you can say that on Twitter, say it to my face. And it's like, oh my God, this man lives, breathes, eats, drinks Twitter. Twitter. I hate him. I hate JPEGMAFIA. I don't hate JPEGMAFIA. I don't hate JPEGMAFIA. I hate everything he stands for, though.
I mean, that's fair. Like, there's a lot of rappers these days that rap about cancel culture, and I think that's kind of obnoxious.
Yeah. Like, I agree. I mean, Eminem, case in point, this year.
Like a lot of rappers, because like before Twitter, obviously cancel culture wasn't a thing. Like whenever a person was being assaulted with crimes, it was like it was differently. Like, I feel like rappers these days, they're more familiar with cancel culture than how a criminal is actually being spotted, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Like cancel culture shouldn't really be the main moral point for like anyone. I don't know. Like I feel like it's something that shouldn't even be encouraged anymore. But I mean, that's obviously something that shouldn't even be said, because
shit. Yeah, that's kind of the same page everyone's on. I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't think it's real. I mean, I think it's only real if you let it be real.
It only really exists, at the very least, from what I've seen on Twitter. Like, I haven't really seen it happen too much on YouTube or, anywhere else.
Right, really, or if it does happen on YouTube, it's because it happened on Twitter.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what you're saying is we need to nuke Twitter, and that Twitter is just the worst place on planet Earth.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't I hate Twitter. Like, I don't even like using Twitter anymore.
I don't use Twitter. I probably should start using Twitter so I can start promoting my stuff, but it's like I just don't want to go. I don't want to, I don't want to use Twitter. I don't want to use Instagram. I don't want to do anything other than just like stream. You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, Twitter is not even really that good of a place to promote your content. I tried to promote my content before there, and it didn't work. I didn't really go anywhere with it.
Yeah,
like Twitter isn't really the kind of place. Like you type, oh hey, can upload a new video. I don't think anyone's gonna really give a shit, because Twitter is not about that. It's about the drama. It's about the takes without the arguments.
Yeah, well, the good thing about Twitter, if you have a brand, is that it keeps people engaged with your brand. It's more about like keeping the people who are there instead of getting new people. But
yeah,
it's all like marketing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
JPEG Mafia, though, he does not use Twitter for marketing. He uses Twitter. I'm convinced JPEG Mafia is a man of many alts on Twitter, and he uses those just to like defend himself. And maybe that's why he's so esteemed, is because everyone who defends his music is like an alt or a self-hating white person. Because, like, I genuinely can't fathom why JPEG Mafia is allowed to say she's thicker than Cartman. Because if like, hold on, you need to stay in the crib with your gamer pass. Oh my god. How is this not on the same level as at the crib playing Fortnite with your grandma? Right? If Eminem said this, it would be over. But because JPEG Mafia is, revered amongst the white people who would love to be anything but, he gets a pass. God, what else is there? How many other bad lines were there? Pocket Rocket on me, Invader Zim. That's just a ski mask line. That's offensive to me.
Is that on the album?
Yeah, Pocket Rocket on me, Invader Zim. Yeah, that's just a Ski Mask the Slump God line, and Ski Mask the Slump God would say it with so much more vril, so much more soul.
Yeah, I don't like JPEG Mafia doing Invader Sim lines. Doesn't seem like his.
I'm slim and shady, but I'm not a Stan. So there he is with like the Stan lines again.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like at the end of the day, like I don't really get irritated by JPEG Mafia because I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of people like him in the internet. Like even when it comes to rappers, even when it comes to, but I mean,
I don't like them either.
Yeah,
I don't like their music either.
I guess I can see where you're coming from because like JPEG Mafia obviously has a lot of influence. He's very popular rapper, and I mean, he definitely when it comes to a lot of the things that I don't like about I guess internet culture these days, he definitely has a lot of those attributes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Here's the worst one. Right. Here's the one that got me. Got my side bitch sniffing Jack Harlow. All my bad hoes bringing that work home straight to my gamer chair.
That's funny.
Dude, the Jack Harlow one's bad, but it's like if it was just like in that vacuum, I wouldn't have like screenshotted it. If you don't get it, sniffing that Jack Harlow because Jack Harlow's white.
Mm-hmm.
And JPEG Mafia strikes me as someone who's very like race obsessed,
Mm-hmm.
not even race conscious, race obsessed. Like he is obsessed with race, obsessed with race. And I don't really get it. Maybe it's because I'm white that I'm not, race obsessed or I think I consider myself to be, race conscious in the sense that, maybe not in some senses, some of the more extreme senses, but it's like, whatever, right? I understand the intricacies. So maybe it's because I'm white that I'm not, instead race obsessed or race obsessive. But it's like he just like can't go an entire song without mentioning race. He can't do it. And it's something where it's like, not even if he's saying something that I disagree with, he's not even saying something I disagree with all the time. It's just like, race is at the forefront of this dude's mind all the time. And I feel like no song better encapsulates that here than on the last track whenever he's spilling his guts out. Dude, he is spilling his guts out. It's really the first time he opens up and allows himself to be real throughout this entire album. And then at the very end, for some reason, he comes in trying to act hard, like, white girl slide down that pole and I'm throwing her faces. I could never be racist. It's just like, he can't help himself, dude. He cannot help himself.
His coping.
It's so weird. It is so weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I do not know.
I think what happens with JPEG Mafia is that I think he lacks subtlety sometimes. Like he has.
Wait, he likes subtlety?
No, he lacks.
Oh yeah, lacks subtlety, 100%. I'm completely on board with that.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like sometimes you just gotta let shit speak for itself. Like, and.
But when that's all the time, and not only that, but it's like it's so obsessive. Like okay, imagine someone who's obsessed with gender all the time.
I mean, that's just. I don't think even trans people will really stoop that low when it comes to obsessing with gender.
I'm gonna not engage with this one. I see where you're coming from. I think you worded it a bit interestingly, but it's like it would just be obnoxious, right? Especially whenever it's like, oh, he's finally spilling his guts out and saying something real, and it's finally something I respect. Which, first of all, he samples Janet Jackson on here, which I don't like him sampling Janet Jackson because I like Janet Jackson's music. I don't like JPEGMAFIA's music, but yeah, I don't know. And then he just can't help himself to be race obsessed.
Yeah.
You know, and it sounds like a weird thing to like criticize someone for, like, oh, you're obsessed with race. But it's like, you really have to see it to know it. You know what I mean? It's like, there's not a single song where he's not like high horsing about race or something, you know? And even if it's something that I agree with, it's like, it's way too much. It's way too often. It's like, he's obsessed, and it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that is very related to him being terminally online, because terminally online people usually tend to like try to convince you so hard that they're not this kind of person or this kind of person all the time.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes you just gotta shut up, man. Like you don't have to bring it up. Just don't talk about it.
I mean, even if you are going to talk about it, right? I feel like, well, dedicated tracks, that's understandable, right? Dedicated tracks about race, that's fine. Hell, you want to make an entire album about race. Like that's entirely fine too. I don't care. And honestly, what JPEGMAFIA is doing here, like that's fine. I don't really care, but you know, whenever I have to listen to it for a podcast, it's like I got to talk about it. So I have my hand forced into caring. It's just like I'll give you another example, right? This is whenever I first noticed it. In his in the trailer for Scaring the Hose, he was on like a screen recording his like laptop or something, and on one of his tabs he has like you know the bit where it's like you type in jokes in your tabs. On like Google or something. Well, in one of his tabs, he had like, "Is it racist to da 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 da?" Right? Like this is just someone who is constantly at the forefront of his mind. He has race, and it's like, I don't know. I find that behavior weird. I don't know. I don't mind people having opinions on race. I think that's actually Well, okay, yeah, that's a slippery slope to say that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just going to say this much, right? Race is something that can be talked about. And that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is whenever that's like the only thing you have to talk about, and even then you're not saying really anything about it. And whenever you are saying something about it, you're kind of being an obnoxious prick.
Yeah.
That's my point. I kind of had to tiptoe around some things there, and because one slip of the tongue, and it's like I'm right? I'm in territory with one slip of the tongue. So I don't want people to think I'm racist, but I don't care as much as JPEGMAFIA sounds like he cares. Does that make any sense?
I mean, yeah, honestly, it does make some sense. Like I can see how it can all connect together to yeah, I mean, again, this all connects to him being just terminally aligned. Like honestly, like the more we talked about this album, like the more I'm like, yeah, this guy really is terminally aligned. Like, because like I think he just likes being terminally aligned. Like he's proud of it. He wants to like he really is connected with this modern internet social media kind of behavior.
Yeah,
and I don't
Twitter.
And I mean, I don't like it because again, it's just this is a behavior that should be encouraged less.
Yeah, I completely agree, Bells. I completely agree. And to be fair, he is encouraging it less on this album. And he's making fun of his haters for being terminally online, but it's like, buddy, I'm not terminally online. I think you're terminally online. You know what I mean? It's the fact that he's trying to convince you that he isn't. That's what's so troubling.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. Just to wrap this entire album up, the best parts of this album was whenever JPEGMAFIA was not rapping. That was whenever Denzel Curry was on there. Vince Staples was on there. The myriad of samples and the Buzzy Lee feature. So
I did really like the Denzel Curry verse. I think definitely the best verse out of the entire album for me.
Yeah, it's interesting having actual like energy in a track, right?
Yeah.
But no, I digress. I think in summary, I'm gonna have to give this album like a 2 out of 10. It was not my thing at all. The production was great. Production was stellar. Everything else, the album falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily hate the album because I think it's definitely better than, again, the Scaring the Host or even a lot of the other rap albums that I've heard throughout this decade. But I don't know. I think I'm just mixed on it. Like I can enjoy the album in small doses. I think the production can be sometimes enjoyable, and I don't even mind his voice. But at the same time, I never really want to come back to this.
Yeah.
At any point soon. So I don't know, like a 5 out of 10.
That seems awfully generous, but sure.
I mean, yeah, like I don't hate it. That like any problems that I have with JPEG as a terminally online person, I think that's just more so to him as a person than whatever he's saying on the album. And
it comes through on the album. That's how you're able to tell that he's terminally online.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I guess in a way, context does make it worse. I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the context is provided by the album. You know, I'm not gathering that JPEGMAFIA is a terminally online person because I know him. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm gathering that JPEGMAFIA is a terminally online person because of the music that we're presented with here.
Yeah, I mean that's not half wrong. Maybe it just doesn't really. I don't know. When I listened to this, I didn't really look. Wasn't really looking at lyrics. It's more so like productions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I don't know. Lyrics for me, like even when it comes to a rap album, I think that's really only at the very least only like half of what really matters to me. I think like if you have an album where like the lyrics are good but the beats are the most boring thing in the world. I mean, I don't think I'm really gonna be able to care.
Well, yeah, because you don't speak English.
Yeah, but like like this is still first and foremost a music album. So like I don't know if the production, which I mean even on that I'm kind of mixed on, but if it still like has a lot of enjoyable elements to it, I think it can definitely carry it over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. So you're content on your 5 out of 10?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is just an album that I'm just kind of mixed on. Like, it is better than Scaring the Host. It is not as good as LP, I guess. I need to re-listen to that album because I don't remember jack shit about it. I just remember liking it.
Yeah. But I guess that's your cue to take us on out of here, Bells.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
I guess that's your cue to take us on out of here, Bells. You want to plug the Bad Movie Podcast first, though?
Maybe.
Okay, well. Okay, you little smart ass. Okay. No, I'm not plugging our other podcasts then.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do have we do have cards soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I said I'm not plugging whatever. Doesn't matter. Just go ahead and take us on out.